Hi, it's Mark from Saphrox Studios, and today we're going to take a look at the plasma pedal from Gamechanger Audio. The plasma pedal was announced back in January 2018 at the NAMM show over in Anaheim, California. In fact, there was such a buzz about the product that it won the prestigious award of Best in Show, which for a small company like Gamechanger Audio is a fantastic accolade. Now, when I saw this, I was like, man, that thing looks cool with its little gas-filled tube with lightning in a box. It looks absolutely amazing when it's in action. And I'm glad to say that it isn't just a gimmick. It is that tube is part of the way that the plasma pedal makes its noises. So after seeing this pedal's cool looks and its interesting sound, I knew that I had to have one. And it was going to go only into production once it reached its targets on a funding page. So I signed up to Indiegogo and threw my money at Gamechanger Audio. Last week, I received my pedal through the post. I did a bit of an unboxing video, so if you want to see that here, you'll see all the extra bits that come in the box. But today is the day that I get to show you what this thing sounds like and all the wonderful noises the plasma pedal makes. So let's take a look at the features on the front. Of course, we're going to have our little latching switch, and then we get these 5 pots. We get a blend control, a volume control, then we have a low frequency, a high frequency, and then a voltage in the center. Now, while we're at it, this pedal is built incredibly well, but these plastic pots that are on the top, they look and they feel a bit cheap. I don't think there's going to be any problem in the functionality whatsoever. It's purely an aesthetic thing. I think it would have been a really nice touch if they were proper metal and not sort of a fake metally plastic on the top. That's the only thing about them, but they work very well. The actual pot component inside feels very, very good and very sort of high quality. It's just the actual feel, the tactileness of these pots, which I'm not 100% keen on. But that is the only thing about this pedal that I don't like. So let's get back to what these pots actually do. Having a look first of all at the blend control, unlike a normal kind of drive pedal, you're going to have something like a DS1. It's going to completely alter your original sound. It's going to go in, distort it all up, and then send you out 100% distorted signal. Now, the blend control here on the plasma pedal allows you to still keep that original clean sound completely unaffected and blend in the overall plasmified tone later. It allows you to create 2 layers of your sound, giving a lot of clarity in your overall tone. The blend control works going from all the way to 100% of your original clean signal, all the way through to 100% of your plasmified tone. That opens up a whole world of possibilities with this pedal. The voltage pot is next, and effectively this is the gain pot. The more voltage, the more gain, the less voltage, you're going to get more breakup. But this is unlike any other drive pedal I've ever used. So stay tuned, we'll do more on that later because it's not like your usual drive pedal at all. The volume pot is fairly self-explanatory and has a good amount of boost levels available should you need to use it. So finally, we have a look at the EQ section, and we have a low frequency and a high frequency pot, purely just a cut and boost of a predetermined frequency range. Now, quick look on the back of the pedal. We've got our ins and outs, our mono jack, 1/4 inch in and out, and we have our wall wart, which by the way, this pedal only runs off of a main supply, a 9-volt power supply. There's no battery compartment on this, but we just get this little switch in here, which is marked up as clean EQ, and we have on or off. So in the off mode, the EQs that we have up here will only operate when it's in plasma tone. So the 2 layered tones I mentioned that we can create with the blend control, it will only affect the plasma-ified tone. When we switch that to on, then the EQs will alter the clean and the plasma-ified tone. Now, this whole sort of setup gives you massive ranges and massive functionality for what this pedal can actually do. It doesn't just have to act as a distortion pedal. Now, with all its features, the plasma pedal is more than just a drive pedal. You could use it with the blend control completely off and therefore use it as an EQ pedal. You could use it as a gain sort of boost, a volume boosting pedal, so you could work it as a solo booster. It's more than just a drive pedal. Now I know that you're going to want me to shut up and just get on and play the damn thing, but before we do that, I'm going to tell you that this is not your usual distortion pedal. This is not going to replace any gain pedal that you have on your pedal board already. It is not like a distortion, it's not like a fuzz, and it's not like an overdrive. In my opinion, it falls into a brand new fourth category, and when you crank this voltage down, it doesn't go to a low gain setting like you would assume. It goes to more of a bit crushing effect. So there we go, we've got a fourth option for what this pedal does. So you can use it as a distortion pedal, you can use this as a bit crusher, and you can use it as an EQ and also a volume solo boost. So a very, very functioning pedal. It's not going to replace anything, but I think you're still going to want one. You're still going to want to add it to your board. So there we go. Let's go find out what this plasma pedal sounds like. Okay, so the plasma pedal is now all plugged in. I'm going to be using my Line 6 Variax 500 running directly into the plasma pedal. Plasma pedal is then going to go into my Mesa Boogie V-twin rack mount, and then into my Mesa Boogie power amp, then into a Boogie cab clone, and then I'm going to capture that through my Focusrite Saffire Pro 40 audio interface and directly into Logic. There is no other processing on the guitar tones, though I may add a little bit of reverb and delay later in post. Here's my clean sound. Now I've set all of the pots on the plasma pedal to the top, but I've just increased the volume so I have unity gain. Let's hear what they sound like. So no plasma, plasma. Now you can hear that I have the two layers of sound. You have the blend control at 12 o'clock, so we still have that clean signal going through, but we also have that very dirty, gritty gain in the back. Now that's with the voltage set at 12 o'clock. So let's set the blend control all the way to 100% plasmified so we can hear what that voltage kind of tone sounds like. So it's really, really kind of a different kind of tone to your usual distortion. It's very, very bubbly. There's a lot of audio artifacts that are being added to the sound. So let's increase that gain voltage up. Kind of a very, very big kind of sound going on. It's a nice tone. Now let's just play with this voltage a little bit. We're still 100% in our plasma tone, and we're going to just bring this voltage back, and we're going to see it's going to start to break up. Take it down even more. This is off now. See, it's not making that kind of low gain crunchy sound you would expect from your usual fuzz, overdrive and distortion pedal. It's starting to act a little bit more like that kind of bit crushing effect. Obviously it isn't crushing the bits whatsoever, but it is just sort of breaking up. Not enough voltage for that kind of spark to really stay alive in the tube. Now, of course, with the fact that it's breaking up in the way it is, it's actually starting to almost have a kind of gated feel to it. If we just bring that that voltage up a little bit. So we're working sort of about 35% of the voltage at the minute. And we're going to find how the sustained note kind of drops off. We got kind of drops off. And it falls away and it kind of breaks up. Now, if we increase that voltage a little bit, it's kind of bringing the floor up of where it's going to gate off. So still falls away. Now my strings are still ringing. Now if I do a single note, like for instance a solo note, I'm going to put the voltage onto full. Just disappears. There's no real decay on it, it just falls off. So that kind of gating effect of the tube not sparking anymore might be a little bit problematic if you were trying to use the solo notes kind of sort of voicings, etc. For long sustained notes are going to be a problem. But on an actual solo sound, it's a very, very kind of interesting noise. It's got so many extra artifacts going on in it. If I'd bring that voltage down, let's say we were trying to get the more bluesy kind of tone on the distortion. Again, like I said, not really that possible with this one. It just sounds more broken. So it's almost a broken kind of sound. There. I still really like those kind of tones. I love those kind of degraded sounds that you can get from any form of pedal like that. So there we go, that is the voltage. And of course, if you do have that kind of low voltage tone, you're finding that degraded sound isn't what you want, you can bring the blend back in. So if we put the blend back to 12 o'clock, so we're now 50% plasma, 50% clean, you still got those two layered sounds. So you still get the clarity should you need it. Of course, it's marked up as a clean kind of setting on the EQ thing, so it kind of assumes that you're putting in a clean signal, but of course you could drive that up previously, which we might have a look at later. Okay, so let's take a look at the EQ settings. Now I've currently got the switch on the back of the pedal set, so the EQ is not operating on the clean, it's only operating on the plasma sound, so it's in the off position. So here it is, our voltaged sound. The voltage once again set to 12 o'clock, and the EQ in the low frequency cuts like this. And boosts like this. There is a lot of power in that low frequency. And of course, when we bring that blend back to 12 o'clock, that cut and boost is only going to affect the plasma tone. But of course, if we engage the switch on the back, then we'll find that the EQs will now affect the clean signal. So it's the same deal with the high frequency. We go back into our plasma tone, 100% plasma tone. Make it very bright, and all the way through to a cut high frequency. Once again, the switch on the back allows us to affect the clean or not. So there we go, we have a completely clean, non-plasmified pedal. Although it's still sparking away, we're not hearing it at all doing through the tube. We're purely just hearing the clean signal going through the EQs. So those EQs are very, very functional. And of course, the volume control, I'm purely running at about sort of 70%. So we can get a good sense of level control there for a solo boost, etc. So there's the sound the plasma pedal makes. Now I personally find that when the clean signal is being used to add the clarity to the voltage tones, where you get the really sweet voltage tones when you've really got a high voltage operating, that the difference between the clean sound and the gain sound is a little bit too clashy. Although you're getting clarity, it sounds too much like there's two layers. So this is what I'm kind of talking about. So I think it would be an interesting sort of test to see what it would be like if we put a drive pedal in front of the plasma pedal, so we can make those clean sounds that little bit more dirty. So I've now put a drive pedal in front of the plasma pedal, and it's going to allow me to make my clean tones that little bit more crunchy, and then add and layer those kind of plasmified extra audio artifacts that get created over the top. Now to do this, I'm going to be using an overdrive pedal from Bad Penny Effects called the Trainscreamer. Here is my clean sound. And here is the Bad Penny Effects Trainscreamer. And then by adding the plasma over the top, now that's with the blend control set at 50%. So we're hearing 50 part of the clean original kind of overdriven sound, and then the plasma layer on top. Now you can still hear a distinct set of layers. You can still hear the plasma tone, and you can still hear the overdriven tone underneath. Let's change the blend control and just bring a little bit more plasmified sounds in. Take off the Bad Penny. Put on the Bad Penny. I find it just sort of glues it all together a little bit more, but let's see how the fully plasmified tones are being altered by having a gain tone in front of it. So let's go 100% onto the blend of the plasma tone. No Bad Penny at this moment in time. And then we'll go in for some gain tone. So now let's find out what the lead tones sound like when we're using a drive pedal in front of the plasma pedal. So I've got the plasma pedal set to 100% high voltage, I got the blend control set to 100% plasma tone, and I have my overdrive pedal engaged. If we take off the drive pedal, I think with the drive pedal, it sounds a little bit more alive, obviously a lot more high gainy. I think you get a little bit more control out of it. However, still getting that gating effect. So that gating effect really is going to cut out any long sustained notes. If you are using a compressor or something and you're really pushing that sound up, then you're probably going to find that you'll get the spark to carry on going and it's not going to drop out. But I think it's only going to be on those long sustained notes. When I look at the plasma pedal, it often reminds me of the oscillation section on the old vintage synths kind of stuff. So it got me thinking, does it work with synths? So here we go. I've wired up my Yamaha CS1X, which is going from the mono output directly into the plasma pedal, and then the plasma pedal out is directly into my interface. So here is my basic tone. Now let's see with an oscillator, so it just sounds a little bit more funky. And let's get the plasma pedal engaged. Now, so currently the plasma pedal is operating with the blend control set half and half, and I have the voltage off. Let's bring the voltage up. Let's turn the blend control so it's 100% plasmified. And let's bring the voltage back down again. Now, of course, we've still got the EQ, so let's drop the bass out and bring the top up. Bring that voltage back up. And bring the mixed blend back so the clean still comes back in. Switch on the back to drop the bass back in from the clean. I think there you go. You can see that you can have quite a lot of fun with the plasma pedal with a synth. I'm not really a synth player, so let's get back to my normal domain, guitars. So now we've heard what the plasma pedal sounds like on its own. We've heard what it sounds like with a drive pedal in front, but what does it actually sound like in a track? Now I've done a track for you where every single guitar tone has been created with the plasma pedal, guitar and amp setup, no exterior drive pedals, and every single guitar tone has been created using the plasma pedal. It was the same clean sound that I have shown you earlier. Even the clean sounds are running through the plasma where I've been using it as an EQ. So let's get to it. So there we go, that is the plasma pedal from Gamechanger Audio, a pedal which I think we'll all agree sounds pretty awesome. Built very, very well, nice solid metal chassis housing. The only grumble I have are those plastic pot covers on the top. I think they feel a little bit cheap, though I'm sure that they are fully durable and going to last the life of the pedal. I'd like to see maybe on a future revision them changed to a metal pot, just to keep the whole quality feel and tactileness of the pedal up there with the rest of it. I don't think the plasma pedal is going to replace any existing drive pedals you have on your pedal board. I think the plasma pedal creates such a tone in the drive category that it's on its own little fourth band. You're going to have the fuzz pedals, overdrives and distortions, and then there's the plasma pedal. So I think you're still going to want to add it to your board rather than replace anything. Of course, the plasma pedal is more than just a drive. So you have the EQ functionality, you have the solo boost, and you have the bit crushing kind of effects along with Frankenstein's drive. So a very, very functioning pedal. How much does this all set you back? Well, currently, the current asking price is £269. Now, you're also going to need, on top of that, to get a power supply in it as well. So you're looking about an extra £20 for something like a 9-volt Boss PSA 230. That will get you rocking and a reeling with the pedal. Now, unfortunately, you can't run it off of batteries. It's only with main supply. So you're going to need to sort that out, whether you have one or not. There we go. That is the plasma pedal from Gamechanger Audio. I've been Mark, Saphrox Studios. Remember, we have a load more product reviews on our YouTube channel, along with backing tracks, lesson tutorials, and tips and tricks guide. It would be great if you could give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe so you see our future content. And if you have any comments, please leave them in the comments section below. It would be lovely to hear from you. I've been Mark, Saphrox Studios. See you later.